Colleagues, I'm proud to have introduced the Laken Riley Act and urge you to join me in voting to pass this bill today. As Joe Biden comes to the Capitol tonight to defend his atrocious record, the House is voting to rebuke him for the open border policies that led directly to Laken Riley's murder. Y'all, enough is enough. The President and the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas have released millions of illegal aliens into this country, and they refuse to secure our border and keep Americans safe. Unfortunately, the man who murdered Laken was among those millions. Despite committing several crimes in multiple jurisdictions, he was allowed to roam free in America before brutally murdering Miss Riley on the campus of the University of Georgia on February the 22nd. Folks, Laken was only 22 years old, a nursing student. She had her whole life and a bright future ahead. And this young woman was an exemplary daughter, sister, and friend. She was cherished by so many people for her loving nature and her servant's heart. And she would be with us today if elected leaders who took an oath to preserve our Constitution and faithfully execute our laws had kept their word. But they didn't. While we can't bring Laken back, we must now turn our focus to doing everything we can to prevent this from happening to another American. The Laken Riley Act is a key piece in our fight to restore the rule of law and get criminal illegal aliens off our street. This legislation will give Immigration and Customs Enforcement more tools. It will add theft to the list of crimes for which the agency must detain and deport an illegal alien. This is crucial. Many people who commit petty crimes go on to commit worse crimes. Laken's murderer, Jose Antonio Ibarra, is a prime example of this. Ibarra was cited for shoplifting in Athens, Georgia, just prior to murdering Laken. But under current law, ICE would not have been required to pick up Ibarra, even if local law enforcement had reported him. Now, let's change that. Let's also give states the legal recourse when the federal government fails to enforce immigration law. The Laken Riley Act does that. States will be able to sue the federal government for injunctive relief when illegals released into this country harm our people. Lastly, the bill condemns the president's border policies and calls on him to end catch and release, reinstate remain in Mexico, and secure the borders of the United States. Colleagues, today we act on behalf of those who are no longer with us because of Joe Biden's policies. I thank you for rallying alongside of me to highlight Laken Riley's life these past 2 weeks. Let's continue to pray for her family and friends as they grieve her loss and resolve to continue to fighting for the American people against the lawlessness created by this administration. I urge you to join me in voting yes on the Laken Riley Act. And when it passes, I also urge my colleagues in the Senate to take this up immediately. Let's ensure justice for Laken Riley. Thank you, and I yield back.